Hey everyone, Steve here again, and today's review will be for Braid, a downloadable platformer puzzler for the 360. In this game you play as our besuited protagonist Tim, who must embark on an epic journey to find the princess. When you first start playing the game, it'll feel a lot like a platformer. Walking around, jumping on enemies, and hey look, even some fun collectibles. Where this game oh shit. Let's see here. Oh, that's right, you can control time. How about that? That's pretty cool. The game features several different time-based mechanics that'll help you gather puzzle pieces, and it's with this feature that the game makes the transition from platformer to puzzle game. There are 72 puzzle pieces scattered throughout the game, and you can't get to the last world without all of them. So the game becomes less get to the end of the stage and more, so how am I going to get this one? Now while at first glance some of the puzzles in this game seem almost insurmountable, the game actually does a really good job of giving subtle hints towards the solutions. Like when you start the second world, you find out that a green glow on an object means that it's not affected by time control. Later, you might be trying to get a particular puzzle piece, and after a while notice a nearby lever or lion's head? Is that what that is? Has a green glow on it. This lets you know that maybe you should try to find some way to use that object to get the piece. Hints like this help keep the game from getting too frustrating, and at the same time, they're subtle enough so that you don't just breeze through it. The puzzles will sometimes also require an amount of timing and precision to complete. Just because you have the solution doesn't mean that it won't take you a few tries to get through it. This element adds to the challenge of the game and keeps the puzzles from feeling stale. As fantastic as the gameplay is, when I show people this game, the first thing they say usually isn't, "Man, the time control mechanics make this quite a stellar puzzler." It's more along the lines of, "Holy shit, this game is beautiful." While the character and enemy sprites are a bit basic, it's the backgrounds and time effects that are truly jaw-dropping. It almost seems as though the game is being hand-painted as you play. In the same category, the soundtrack, which as usual can be heard throughout this review, is like nothing I've heard in a game before. It really captures the feel of the level, giving a sunny field some light violin or a dark wasteland a resonating cello. At the beginning of this review, I mentioned you play as Tim, who goes on a journey to get the princess. Now it may seem like I kind of summarized there, just gave a basic premise, but even having beaten the game, that's all I was really completely sure of the whole time. At the beginning of each world there are several books that, when you stand in front of them, tell a bit of the story. But between that, the pictures that the puzzle pieces make up, and the ending, it just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to give away anything, but to make sure I wasn't just dumb, as is sometimes the case, I looked it up. There are about 1,000 theories about the story. Even the creator himself has said that there's more than one interpretation of the story. When you finish the game you expect to have all your questions answered, but this game's ending just leaves you with more. This does bring me to my next point though, which is the replay value. There's really not a whole lot to do once you've beaten this game other than beat it again or try out the speedruns. These are of course individual levels from the game that you can try to beat in under a certain amount of time. There's even one that challenges you to finish the whole game in under 45 minutes. Not really that into speedruns, but it was kind of fun to take a game that took me weeks to beat and speed through it in under an hour. In my playthroughs of this game I found it could really be summed up in the moments when an answer just hits you. I mean, the game can get pretty frustrating sometimes. You try something one way and it doesn't work, and then something else and that doesn't work either, and after like an hour of attempts you turn the goddamn thing off and leave. But what makes it all worth it is when you come back and it finally just clicks. You see something you didn't before and you try something new and it works. It was those moments of clarity that really kept me looking forward to playing this game every day. Though it may have seemed like a negative when I was talking about the story earlier, I realized that all the questions the game leaves are meant to make you think. It gives another dimension to what seems like a simple puzzle game, and along with its beautiful visuals and emotion-inspiring music, this game genuinely feels like a work of art. I mentioned in my last review that Castle Crashers is the best game on Xbox Live right now, and I still believe that. But if you don't have people over a lot, or you're just more into puzzlers, or maybe you just think to yourself, hey, maybe I'll buy myself 2 games, then I definitely recommend Braid as the game you should pick up.